Okay, now that you have accepted the reality that you are not that powerful, we don't have the power to save other people from themselves. We have control over one person, and it is us. It is our thoughts, our words, our actions. That's what we have a chance of controlling. And when we're trying to control somebody else's life, we feel like a failure constantly because we've set ourselves up to be a failure. We're fighting a battle we have no chance of winning. So it's time to start fighting our own battle. And that ultimately does help the people around us. So this next concept for you is to remove the Supermom cape. So I have this idea that when our children are born, or if your child is adopted, however that beautiful soul comes into your life, we're given this metaphorical cape, right? It's that cape that we are going to use for the bumps and bruises of life. We're going to come to their rescue for different things throughout their lives, and hopefully less and less as time goes on. When someone is in addiction, oh boy, that is, all bets are off. In fact, that cape gets strapped around your neck so tight, it practically strangles you. That's what was happening to me. And by the way, if you are taking this course and you are not a mom, maybe you're a sister, an aunt, a grandma, all of these concepts still apply, even if I use the analogy of moms. So I had this cape wrapped around my neck so tight, I'm telling you, this thing was worn out. It had rips and shreds and tears, and it was faded, and I'd caught it in doors and drawers and in my underwear. I mean, and like I said, it practically strangled me. But I was afraid to take it off. You know, the what ifs start. What if I don't come to Jamie's rescue and this happens? What if, what if, what if? And what kind of a mom would do that? Isn't that giving up? All of those thoughts came into play. And when I finally decided, you know, when I pulled that emergency brake on the roller coaster from hell and I decided to remove that cape, it's like I actually took off a cape. And I folded it up neatly and thought, oh no, wait, she might need me. You know, I unfolded it and strapped it back on. And then finally, I took it off, and I think I gave it to Rich for safekeeping because I was afraid of myself. It is so ingrained in us, especially as moms, and definitely all women, to be there for people, to nurture, to support, and to even try to save. Well, when I realized what I was doing, this was helpful. These couple of concepts were really helpful in allowing me to remove that cape and to stay away from it. There were two things. Number one, all of my saving, at least in my situation, I don't know your situation, in mine, all of this help that I thought I was giving Jamie, I realized was helping her to stay in her addiction. Because I was paying for this and paying for that and bailing her out of this and that. And so her life wasn't as difficult as it needed to be for her to make changes. I remember one time when a mother of a friend of Sean, my son, we were talking about her ex-husband, and she was telling me that he was an alcoholic and he was really in deep. But he also had a business. And he would literally go out and get wasted at night. And then, you know, it was kind of like she would get him up in the morning and, you know, brush his teeth and put on his clothes and prop him up in front of the clients and wind him up, and off he'd go. And this went on and on and on. And so they were at a counselor one time, and this counselor said, or she said to the counselor, he's got this terrible problem. And the counselor said to her, he doesn't have a problem. You're the one with the problem. She thought, are you not listening to what I'm saying? His point was, what is his problem? He gets to go out and get wasted each night, and you take care of everything and keep it all together for him. Well, eventually she stopped doing that. They did end up getting a divorce, and he lost his business, but he has been sober for like 30 years now. So, I mean, I don't know your story. I'm not telling you what to do with specifics with your loved one. But for me, for sure, I wasn't helping. I was probably helping Jamie to stay in her addiction. Because when I bailed her out with money, any other money she had, guess what she was using it for? The other thing, this epiphany that came to me was, what was I teaching her by rescuing her all the time? I was instilling in her that she was not capable of rescuing herself, that she needed me, that I was the savior. Is it time for you Is it time for you to take off the supermom, the super whatever cape? If so, I encourage you to do it. And hang on for the next concept on the next video.